Rivalries reignited.
Historic heavyweights.
The spiciest of derbies.
New kids on the block.
The best leagues in the land are back.
Tom Hitchcock crashes, Tom Hitchcock goes, Tom Hitchcock scores! Leaving it all out there for the fans.
A steamroller to just charge through.
Dynasty, destiny, drama.
Your Women's National League Cup champions.
Future stars set to shine.
Bill Riggs, who's been on fire all season.
Champagne rugby? Look no further.
To score one of the most memorable tries.
Durham University are BUCS Super Rugby League champions.
But the truth is, in this league, it's anyone's on the day.
And it's full time. It is 6 wins from 6 for Swansea.
Entertainment guaranteed.
BUCS Super Rugby.
Women's National League.
BUCS Rugby is back. Well, what a difference a week makes, certainly in the world of BUCS Super Rugby. This time last week, we were here and we were talking about plucky promotees in the form of the University of Nottingham. Well, now those new boys are sitting top of the log and staring down at the table after a comprehensive, a heroic, a historic, or maybe all of the above wins against Leeds Beckett to kick off their campaign for the season. Now, today's opposition are Swansea University. They're a team on the up. They famously recorded 6 victories to close out their maiden BUCS Super Rugby season last year. And that's the key word, maiden BUCS Super Rugby season. They were the new boys last year, and they had to wait until round 4 to register their first victory. But they've been on the journey that Nottingham are embarking on. They've learnt their lessons, and they've come to this season with great ambitions. Those ambitions were punctured last week at St Helens, leading Cardiff Met at half-time. They eventually ran out losers, albeit bagging a try-scoring bonus point. So there is so much to play for, so much narrative weaving through this contest, because it is Wednesday, it's our favourite day of the week, and it is the University of Nottingham against Swansea Uni in BUCS Super Rugby. So the scene, I hope, is pleasantly set. More pleasantly than the weather, speaking of things that are different from last week. It is torrid, it is rainy, it is windy here. It may suit the visitors, but let's not write off those plucky promotees who, as I mentioned, are currently sitting top of the league. And they came into this season with confidence, as demonstrated by their captain, James Cherry, who I caught up with at our media day before the season began. There's excitement, but there must be an element of trepidation as well. How do you and the club feel about this first season coming in?
Yeah, I think that's very true. I mean, when we got that win, it was all jubilation, and then it was like, oh wait, we actually now need to go and play your Exeters, your Durhams, your Loughboroughs, these kind of giants of BUCS Super Rugby. But I think the thing is, we've started pre-season and there's none of that. There's no fear. It's all confidence. It's all excitement. It's relishing the challenges ahead rather than shying away from them, which I think is fantastic to see from the group. We're really lucky that we've got 2 home fixtures to start the season off, which I think is going to be really helpful. But then, we've kind of got probably 3 of the hardest fixtures in BSR, going away to Durham, away to Cardiff Met and away to Loughborough. But like I say, no one's scared about that. They're good challenges, they're good sides, we know that. But we know that we can bring something different and bring something to those games. So yeah, just excited more than apprehensive or nervous or anything like that.
Who is the player that you aspire to be? Who have you based your game on to this point? Who would you like to see yourself emulating in the future?
No, I've been thinking about this. There's 2 that really stuck out to me. The first of which is Richie McCaw. From a leadership perspective, I think that man arguably captained the All Blacks through not only some of the best times in the history of New Zealand rugby in that kind of 2011, 2015 period, but also some of the darkest times in that 2007 World Cup where, the whole country was at the All Blacks' necks for poor performances. And the fact that he rode that, played 150 games at the highest level, in one of the best teams, but also led the side through that, is someone that I really want to learn from. And I don't want to say emulate, because I don't think anyone will ever emulate Richie McCaw, but learn from as much as I can and take some lessons from that. And the other one would be Sia Khaleesi, more modern. I think Sia Khaleesi is an absolute legend of rugby. Being the first black captain of South Africa is such a massive achievement, and what he's done with that side in the 2019 World Cup and more recently beating the All Blacks in the Test series. I mean, yeah, what a guy. And just two awesome back row players as well, a 7 and a 6, both very different game styles, but guys that I hope I can learn from and take different bits from and put into my game.
Right, Paul, here we are back at the scene of the crime, back at the scene of the triumph from last week. Now, we're going to touch on some themes that we spoke about last week, like expectation, kicking on, reflecting on glory. How's the week been since that big win against Leeds Beckett?
The week's been awesome. You know, it was a great win for us at home, first BSR match. I think with the bonus point, we're sitting on top of the table. I'm sure that won't last. But no, it was a great day for rugby in Nottingham. A lot of big crowd, 1,000 people down supporting us. As I remember saying to you before the match last week, it was a bit of an unknown for us. We didn't know where we were, and that opening 30 minutes showed, didn't it? You know, but you know, we backed ourselves. You know, we played with increasing confidence throughout the game, and I think we finished the strongest. But we know now that this week is just another step up again.
Well, I wanted to ask that about training this week. What's it been like? Because there must have been a bit of an emotional come down from that first game, getting that win, but then turning your attention to the next job.
Yeah, and I think that emotional come down is reflected in the fact that there's a lot of things we didn't do well. But a lot of them as well were easy fixes, so it wasn't a case of back to the drawing board. It was a case of going on the training park, focus on the detail, focus on the clarity, and get all that in place. So Saturday morning was a great session. You know, we had 60, 70 players out across the top 3 squads, finishing with our customary 15v15. Monday night, our fast session went really, really well. Preparation couldn't go any better. So, but then we weren't legislating either for the rain today. So, you know, that's going to be a bit of a leveller. And of course, Swansea come with a big reputation.
Swansea do come with a big reputation. They come with a big reputation of being able to handle them in precisely these conditions. So I know that you like to play an adventurous style of rugby. Are we going to see some more pragmatism, or are you going to be adapting your game to the manner in which Swansea play theirs?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and we won't know until we kick off, will we? I'd like to think that we'll stay true to our values and our style of play, but at the end of the day, we've also got to be pragmatic. We've got to focus on the home matches as where we're going to get our results. We watched Swansea against Cardiff Met. Even though they lost, they looked strong. Big pack of forwards, a lively 9, a kicking 10, pace on the wings. You know, it's going to be tough today. And you're absolutely right. Swansea will feel at home with the rain here, and perhaps if the wind kicks up as well. But we've had some big matches out here in the rain as well. So, you know, as I say, I think it's about backing ourselves again, doing the small things right, and going out there and just building and lasting 80 minutes, finishing strongly at the end.
Lasting 80 minutes. But maybe starting from minute 1, are we going to have to wait 30 minutes for you guys to fire a shot this week? Have you impressed upon the boys the importance of coming out the blocks fast this time?
Oh, I think the boys have put that right. I mean, I think last week, a combination of things. I mean, there's a lot of emotional energy. You know, 2 hours before kick-off, the guys were here kicking the ball around and walking the pitch, you know. So it was perhaps not surprising that we got off to a slow start. And full credit to Leeds Beckett, who came out the blocks and really put us under pressure. But we said at half-time, look, we can play. We just need the ball, settle down, do what we do, and take it forward, which is what we did. So today we're hoping for a faster start, absolutely. We know we're going to need that in these conditions against Swansea. So I think it'll be an exciting game. I think it'll be a close game. And obviously we're hoping we'll come out right, you know, on the other side.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing round 2 of Nottingham in BSR, mate. Go well today.
Thank you, Burnsy. Cheers.
All right, so they're the new kids, but of course, we're all new kids once upon a time. And last year it was Swansea, and I caught up with their captain, Ben Gregory, earlier before this match.
Captain of Swansea Uni, that seems like something pretty special to me. How does it feel to you?
It was a shock to be asked. It was obviously an honour as well to be asked by Gus. But no, it's exciting. It's an exciting challenge ahead, especially after a really good season we had last year. Obviously, wasn't the best of starts, but no, we clawed back and managed to finish 5th.
Yeah, pretty amazing achievement. And when you add to all of the big wins, it seems like you ticked a lot of boxes last year. So how do you better it this year?
Oh, look, you can always get better, and obviously finishing 5th, we want top 4, top 3, even top.
What about those away trips then? Because there are a lot of boys who go to Swansea Uni who are from the area, and it's so rich in club rugby that very often you can have an entire rugby career and never travel more than an hour for an away game. But now you're going up to Durham, you're going to Leeds, even up the M4 to Cardiff or down to Bath or Exeter. It's a lot of time on the road. Do you look forward to that? Can you let me in on some bus trip secrets?
No, I couldn't possibly tell you any of that. No, nothing really prepares you for long trips like Durham and, well, this season Nottingham as well. But no, it brings the boys closer together. Obviously, being together on a bus for so long, you've got to like each other, otherwise it's a very, very long trip.
Towards the back end of last season, I think Swansea Uni were everybody's second favourite team. What do you think it is that makes you such a good side, such a likeable side? What's the secret sauce down at St Helens?
I think having that underdog mentality of obviously going in, people think it was second best, and obviously people expecting us to lose to these big teams, and I think we shocked a lot of people last year. Obviously going 7 games unbeaten and not beating any old sides, we've beaten the big teams, and it just shows that like we don't have to have all the funding in the world, but we can certainly compete with these top teams.
Do you still think you're underdogs?
I think it's nice to have the underdog mentality. Obviously, you don't want to go in big-headed or anything, but no, I think this season the teams will expect a lot more from us than they did last year, which I think we're excited about.
Very, very much looking forward to it. Good luck this year.
Thank you very much.
Perfect.
Hugh Gustafsson, aka Gus to those in the league, so now Gus to you at home viewing in, head coach of Swansea University. And we're going to start with today's opposition, today's contest, because you were once in these boys' shoes, the new kids in the league. Were you impressed with what you saw from them last week?
Yeah, great, the composure. They went down the first 10-15 minutes, and I thought they built a great game, and it showed the pack they've got to build a couple of more tries, and also some great starter plays and some really positive 50-22 plays, so got them in the right position to help the pack get those maul tries.
But week 2, how do you think that's going to hit them? How do you think it's going to feel for them now facing you?
It probably builds confidence that they felt what BUCS really is and the tempo. They've probably managed to deal with Leeds. I think it's another game and it's BUCS Super Rugby. Anything can happen today.
All right, enough of the opposition. Let's talk about the Swans, because we heard from your captain earlier, and the ambition is high. The ambition, he's talking top 4, top 3, maybe even top. So, after last week's result against Cardiff Met, does that ambition remain?
Yeah, if it finished at 40 minutes, we're 25-19 up. So it was a great first start from us.
Game's 80 minutes.
And that's what we learned from that game. I think a bit of immaturity, a couple of us. Second half, I think we could hold on to that pressure, give away some penalties in crucial parts of the game. And a team like Met just crawled their way back in the game and showed their experiences with BUCS Rugby.
Let's talk about style. So last season, one of your top scorers was the penalty try. This season, I'm reliably informed you want to play a more adventurous brand. You've got a lot of weapons out wide that you're looking to deploy. Is that the case?
It's horses for courses, mate. They've got the best team, probably the blended play. We have some really good back 3 players, some talented backfield members of the team, and some really experienced midfield players. Just for us, we have to lay that platform down. If there's a penalty try, I take a penalty try to win a game any day.
So you take 7 points, irrespective of how it comes.
How it comes, yeah.
However it comes. All right then, well, let's talk about some of the personnel, because we know some of your players from last year who performed so well. We know all about your captain and the energy that Ben Gregory brings, but what about some of the new faces that we'll see out there today?
For me, it's, he showed his deadly pace. Is Ian Morgan, part of the Ospreys Academy, still a bit of a novice to rugby, but he's a great athlete and he's excitable to watch. Another one is the centre partnership. You've got Bradley Roderick and Rory Case. 2 different style centres, but exciting to play, and they help the team gel.
All right, last thing, we wouldn't be British if we weren't talking about the weather, would we? And this may, on paper, lend itself to a Swansea University style or a psychology, let's say, for those rainy days down in St Helens. Do you feel that coming up to this today?
It's quite funny, the boys go off the bus, and it's not like the Swansea rain, it's in your face, and it's actually come straight down in Nottingham, so there's no shock to our players. We're used to playing in the rain in Wales.
Good stuff. All right, we're looking forward to seeing you out there.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Cheers. So Swansea looking for their first win today, and of course Nottingham with that historic win last week. But there were plenty more fixtures and action across the country in the opening round of this season, with the champions recording a 25-17 victory over old purple foes Loughborough, with man of the match and new co-captain Patrick Bishop steering them to victory with a man of the match performance. You see right there, Nottingham 31, Leeds Beckett 15. It was accomplished, it was comprehensive, it was everything you could dream of in your opening fixture of BUCS Super Rugby. But the biggest shock of the day, no doubt, came down in Topsham, where Exeter lost their nigh on 2-year unbeaten run at home against Hartpury. It was a last-minute try from Will Goffey and a nerveless Harry Williams conversion that put the green machine to bed, 31-30. For Swansea, well, they led at half-time, but Cardiff Met came storming back with some absolutely sublime tries, 42-30 eventual victors, while there was more heartbreak for Bath and more last-minute drama as Cardiff stole a 1-point victory at the desk, courtesy of the try-scoring exploits of Oscar van der Venter. Well, if you're a Nottingham fan, it's a case of stop the count, but round one, there's plenty more shaking and moving and grooving around that table to come. Leeds Beckett, Loughborough and Swansea with big fat zeros, but I can't imagine that'll be too long until they're recording their first wins. So this is the run of fixtures today. A full ticket, Nottingham v Swansea. Hartpury entertained Durham at the Owl Pass. Leeds Beckett with their first home match of the season against Bath. Loughborough versus Exeter in what is being billed as the Leather Barrow Derby. Captains and twin brothers Ollie and Teddy going head to head for Loughborough and Exeter. While it is the Cardiff clash, 6,000 tickets sold for the Cardiff Arms Park for the meeting of Cardiff Met versus Cardiff.
Hello, old friend. It's been a while. Times have changed, but the game is still the same. We're still disciplined, still getting stuck in, still tough as old boots. You taught us self-belief, respect, how to get back up, dust yourself off, and hit them harder next time. The passion we take to the field that goes far beyond the dead ball line. We wear our badge on our hearts. We back ourselves. The roads we journey down span the globe, but we remain brothers, sisters, a squad. We were forged in green and gold.
So here we are back again at Highfields at the University of Nottingham, and it is BUCS Super Rugby Wednesday. It's round 2, and believe it or not, the new boys, the home sides, are at the top of the table. They're up against Swansea, who impressed against Cardiff Met, but they couldn't register that win that they needed against their Cardiff foes. And the teams are here just going through the final stages of their warm-ups, and warm is the key word, because it is cold, it is wet, it is windy. The conditions are as torrid as they could come here in the Midlands, something maybe these boys in lime green from Swansea will be accustomed to. With their coach there, Hugh Gustafsson, who we heard in the build-up there, very hands-on in the warm-up, getting them through their paces. So they're the full squads out there going through their final stages. But let's meet the men who are taken to the field to kick proceedings off today, starting with the home side. Well, for Coach Paul Westgate, it's a case, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's why there's only 2 changes to the starting lineup after their 31-15 triumph over Leeds Beckett. Michael Momodu comes in at 11 for his first ever first 15 start, while Ed Timpson, wearing the 7 jersey, has very big boots to fill as he comes in for Lewis Barrett, who is very much in the conversation for man of the match last week. However, that man of the match accolade went to fly half Max Brown, who linked up beautifully with Conor Moyes on 2 occasions to create 2 tries for the right winger. And he also bagged a try himself that got Nottingham on the road to a maiden BUCS Super Rugby victory. There's additions and shirt swapping on the bench. The introduction of Fred Maher and Toussaint Teriba moves to the 19 jersey, while Jamie Anand in the 22 jersey is a Wasp to watch out for when he comes on. For Swansea and Hugh Gustafsson, well, it's a nice predicament when you've got 7 Wales under-20s in the ranks to choose from. He's picked 4 freshers amongst the side. They're all full-time academy players with the Ospreys who are enjoying their blended training and studying in the Swansea University programme. The tries against Met came from all parts of the field last week. Oscar Stewart at fullback, Rory Case in the centres, Garen Lloyd at hooker, and their captain Ben Gregory, who seems to have boundless reserves of energy. As far as the replacements are concerned, the 2 to watch out for are Di Francis and Rodri Lewis, 2 of those full-time academy first years looking to make names for themselves off the bench. Rodri Lewis, well, he was nominated for the Welsh Premiership try of the season last year for Aberavon. Watch out for some pyrotechnics from him when he takes to the field. Final words of instruction for Paul Westgate and Captain James Cherry for the green and gold of the University of Nottingham, looking to go back-to-back after that triumph last week against Leeds Beckett. Good chance as well for us to introduce our co-commentator today. We got Seb May injured in that win for Nottingham against Leeds Beckett. And Seb, we're seeing the boys come in, we're seeing the tunnel. Big energy here at Highfields.
Yeah, should be a pretty promising game. Shame about the wind and the rain, which doesn't normally play to our style of play, but yeah, it should be a good one out there today.
Well, we're seeing there the camaraderie of the club, all those who aren't involved. I imagine there's some involved in 2s, 3s and 4th fixtures elsewhere in the country, but a good cohort and a healthy support, albeit maybe not quite as many as the 1,000 that came here last week.
Yeah, not quite.
What was that like, playing in front of all those people?
Yeah, it's always class, playing, obviously playing in front of your mates and playing in front of a big crowd. They're normally pretty good at making a lot of noise, so yeah, we really felt it on the pitch last week, especially when it got pretty hairy at times. It's always good to have the boys behind you.
I touched on it with your coach Paul there in the match build-up, but it's always good to get it from inside the camp. What's the emotional high and I guess that inevitable small come-down been since that win against Leeds Beckett?
Yeah, obviously the win was pretty much a dream come true to start us off in Super BUCS. And yeah, everyone, there's a proper big buzz in the changing rooms afterwards, and we all met up after as well. And then since then, it's kind of been fresh faces and a pretty good attitude going in towards this week. I think everyone knows this is going to be a tough game, and Swansea are going to bring something pretty different to the table. And yeah, it's going to be a physical game, so everyone was pretty good at going into that after what was a great start to last week.
Well, yes, a tough game and a tough proposition to be brought by Swansea. What have you, as a team, as a programme, spoken about in the build-up about the opposition who arrived to Highfields today?
I mean, obviously, one of the big things about this season is that for everyone we're playing, it's new territory. And so, in the way of analysis, sometimes it is pretty hard, but we know that Swansea are going to bring a lot of physicality to the table today, especially with the weather conditions. It's going to be up front, kicking's going to be big. So yeah, we know that it's going to be a tough game, and so defence is really going to be key for us today.
Defence key for Nottingham today, and certainly starting fast. They didn't come out firing in the opening half an hour last week. And Leeds Beckett, well, they made them pay. They could have made them pay more. They'll be conscious of coming out the traps fast today against the Swansea side. who are full of ambition, having negotiated their debut season in BUCS Super Rugby with aplomb. A 5th place finish. And no fanfare for the away side as they make their way through the tunnel of the rest of the University of Nottingham. And I think I'll let that roar do the talking for who's coming next. The man in the middle today, Tim Allett of Nottingham, but he assures me he only has eyes for the sides that play in green. Of course, that's Nottingham and that's Swansea. It's going to be a fair contest with the whistle out there in the middle. Swansea in green, Nottingham in their change strip of gold. And we're ready to get underway at Highfields once again.
22. Hold in front of you.
Nice simple exit from Henry Mortimer. Drill's done well to start the game.
Sorry, 7 called. You can adjust. 7 called. Hold the throw. Hold the throw. You changed your numbers. Someone said 6 first and then you said 7.
Well, both universities struggling with their numeracy there, but fortunately, referee on hand to sort things out, and Ben Gregory, the Swansea captain, up claiming it.
Yeah, he's a hard referee to miss, is Tim.
1!
Yeah, you wouldn't mind him coming on as a replacement later on in the half, or...
Yeah, he'd send them up in the line-out, wouldn't he?
You wouldn't want to be defending him at inside centre, that's for sure, if he was on a hard line. Wow.
Yeah, good tackle from Momo there.
The debutant, man involved with London Irish 18s, making an impact early with a fast press in defence. And while it will be a Swansea line-out, good pressure from Nottingham early in this half. By Garen Lloyd, he's going to have his ear canals probably filled with not encouragement.
Yeah, never a nice place to take a line-out, is it?
Stolen by Nottingham, and Cherry's the first to tidy up the mess. Mortimer. Good carry and blasted through by a couple of his teammates. Very sharp hands from Max Brown. Hits the deck, and
it's the right kick as well.
It is the right kick as Tom Allen hares down on it. Gregory spoke about his work ethic, the blindside flanker, first to drop on it.
Use it!
Swansea, team who notoriously kick well, they chase hard, and that is good, tight on the touchline. Max Brown has spotted some space, and he spotted a 50-22 opportunity, but the bounce doesn't quite work for him. Brown chases his own kick and puts a bit of pressure on Oscar Stewart. Nottingham flood through in the gold jerseys, and is this Hiscock-Smith chance to open up the scoring? You betcha.
Yeah, great try from the lads. I think that kind of fits into what we were talking about training all week. Good kicking game and strong defence, and hopefully win the ball back, and yeah, we paid our dividends there.
Well, Hiscock-Smith gets the score, but it was all about that pressure defence from the Nottingham team there, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially after our pre-season games, there was a a lot of focus on our kick chase. Obviously, you've got people like Max Brown, and he's got a foot like a traction engine. So, you know, if we can get that kick chase sorted out, then yeah, it's pretty makes it pretty easy for our platform to go off.
Just the 5 points for the University of Nottingham as Henry Mortimer's kick is skewed wide.
Right in front of the kick.
But the key thing is they're on top defensively, and they're on top with that Hiscock-Smith try. Just squirting out those conditions, having their say early. And what a turn of pace by the back row. Either of them could have dotted down.
Time it.
Strong chase and well-timed hit from Rory Case.
Take him back.
All good carrying, just that grease on the surface and
Backwards,
on the shoulders, allowing the Nottingham forwards to slip through for a couple of extra metres at the moment.
Just come off the seat.
And they give up that meterage immediately, then a penalty.
12 off his feet.
And I'm afraid, Tavland, that was nowhere near the mark.
Man was isolated under pressure. Yeah, just post score, lads.
Well, a good result for Swansea, that conceding the penalty, but then putting their own pressure on to get this penalty opportunity to eat into the early Nottingham lead.
7.
Well, not quite the service that Max Brown was after from Henry Mortimer.
No, I'm surely he'll have words with Morts, and there's a good strong defence from Swansea there to turn it over, so fair play to that.
Turns away as soon as he strikes the ball. Bernardo Nogueira, the Portuguese under-20 international, lands his first kick of the afternoon, and it's Nottingham 5, Swansea 3.
Where are you going, Sam?
Well, for both of us, Seb, early signs that this wet, this consistent, persistent drizzle, backing up some very, very heavy rainfall about an hour ago, is going to have an impact in this game.
Yeah, you can already tell from the nines passing and stuff that it's greasy out there. So yeah, it's going to be a tough day for both the halfbacks, and I definitely reckon there'll be a lot of kicking today. Put a lot of pressure on the backfield and see if they can force any errors out there.
Challenging for the hookers too, but one that Lewis Pickford stands up to, the try scorer. It's Scott Smith showing that power and pace.
Oh, it's a good turnover from Swansea, that.
Brilliant turnover, wasn't it?
Yeah, a lot of players there as well. It wasn't easy work there. That's gone against them and momentum a little bit. So.
6 goals.
That's 2 early penalties conceded by the Gold of Nottingham, and Seb, you said to me off air before the game that's something that you guys have spoken about in the week. It's something that you need to correct after all the penalties given up against Beckett early.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we can be our worst enemies with that. Happened early doors last week and a few pre-seasons games, so it's definitely been a big focus in preparation for Swansea, so hopefully it can be fixed out on the field.
We can tell Nottingham's Rob Carmichael is going to be a nuisance at the front when it comes to line-outs all day today, but Swansea have retained possession on this occasion. A carry through Bray.
You've tied him in. You're not having that if you pin him in.
Zuga
Advantage.
Another penalty advantage.
Yeah, he's gone, leave him.
And off goes Davland, who's asking for help, and he finds it from Roderick, who spills under pressure. Is this the day for those passes, for those 50-50 ones?
Keep coming.
Big slice, and it was going to cause some chaos, and well taken by Archie van der Fleer.
Don't talk to me like that,
Quite
please.
scrappy
guys.
from both these sides at the moment. Understanding of the conditions. That's almost a beautiful kick from Max Brown, but Nogueira sends a slippery one down the middle. Invites Oscar Stewart's, Tom Allen, I beg your pardon, to come and attack. And well, neither side cherishing possession at the moment. Garen Lloyd sticks it up the jumper and takes it into contact tight. Thunderous double hit.
That's Alex Sabin there, and yeah, he'll do that all day.
Bit of face play finally from Swansea, who find the outside edge and go scampering in the 15-metre channel. Knocked on, or gone backwards gestures.
Tackle.
Tim Allett.
Let go on the floor.
Not sure either side have held on to the ball for more than 30 seconds so far, Seb.
Nah, not quite. Everyone testing each other out there. There's been some pretty big carries, but yeah, you can tell that it's pretty hard passing the ball around there today.
Well, there is plenty of advantage being played by the referees. It's a long passage of play, this. Going to be some tired bodies. Are there going to be some tired minds? There's some fast legs in the shape of Mamodu.
Tackle, move green. Good.
Mortimer searches down the left, who gives it to Cherry and slips a tricky one on the toe. Broken field running for Swansea.
Not often you see someone like Cherry nudge it in again, so
Hold his front. Hold.
obviously going towards that whole kicking tactic today.
Well, still in play, and finally to the appreciative roars and applause of the sidelines. The ball is buried into touch to bring to an end an exhausting passage of play.
Next time will be a penalty. Okay. Yeah. Head to the paint, lads.
Well, Max Brown,
Out you go, out you
man
go.
of the match
Into the
last
paint.
week for Nottingham.
Out, out.
He's not afraid of using his boots in open play. So this could be the game for him today. Great variety of kicking to his games. As Garen Lloyd, try scorer last week, latches himself onto the back. Van der Fleer's having a nosy round the corner.
You broke the second pod off at the back. You weren't at the front. You broke off.
But a penalty, crossing in the driving maul. Just a bit of inaccuracy from Swansea and a chance for Nottingham to pump this one down deep into Welsh territory. Well, here was the peel, and not exactly sure what happened. Did they get disconnected? And maybe Tom Zuga, well, it's truck and trailer sort of vibe.
Yeah, it looks like it's peeled off. I'm also not entirely sure what the pen was, but you know they'll be getting pretty frustrated with that. And let's just see if this Nottingham side can capitalise on that.
Well, they're taking the first step in capitalising. They send their lighthouse Rob Carmichael up.
Off feet. Good, good.
Brought to ground, and on the 22, delay on the pass. Maybe it went forward to Mamodu. Still Nottingham come. Inside ball. Keeps the defence on it. Cherry on a line, but he's not giving it. I'd love to have seen the Swansea defence be forced to put a hit in on the number 8. Off the line is the call. Alex Sabin.
Tackle.
Good carry from Zab.
Off feet now, last. Good.
Numbers here for Nottingham, inside and out. Vice-captain Cam Furley.
Ah, it's a great turnover, that.
Another turnover and another penalty. I think that's number 5. Within 13.5 minutes against Nottingham.
11.
So not quite going to plan in the discipline stakes, Seb.
No, I mean, you know, just from watching so far, you can see it's, you know, it's going to be back and forth. It's going to be still a lot of kicking, a lot of turnovers. It's going to be who can keep the ball, and keep their momentum going is going to win this game, I think.
Gold on the line, green gap. Gold on the line, stay there.
Gregory, certainly the preferred option for Swansea at line-out time, but
just that lamppost in the way is the big problem. Rob Carmichael's a hard bloke to throw over almost 7 foot, so I think they'll look to chuck him up at the front all day today.
Yep, that lamppost that Seb speaks of is the one with the number 4 on his back. England 19s, Tigers Senior Academy.
Off we go.
And the key stat from my sheet is that he's 6'10", and he's every inch of it by the looks of him.
I think it depends who you ask. If you ask any of the lads, we like to chirp on about him being 7 foot, but yeah, he's a pretty humble guy, so he'll tell everyone he's 6'10".
Like a mythical creature around campus that you're sort of puffing up his figures and his statistics.
Set. Hold, wait for the ball, wait.
Mortimer. Can he guide play into the Swansea 22? Play just yo-yoing between the 10-metre lines, sometimes the 22s at the moment.
Let him move, let him move.
Wow, good option over the top. There is green grass and Swansea are turned and Cherry's chasing. And all Swansea can do is collect and slide on out through Oscar Stewart. This is a huge opportunity for Nottingham on the 5-metre.
Yeah, it's something that, like, historically, I think we slightly struggled with set piece in the early phases of the game. So if we can nail that, and yeah, our maul paid off last week, then it would be a great opportunity to score some early tries against this pretty big Swansea team.
Well, Carmichael isn't the one sent up, it's Ed Timpson in the 7 jersey. And it allows more gold jerseys to join at the back and peel away. It is penalty advantage, so a free roll of the attacking dice. Carmichael. Not a natural scrum half, but it's okay. We come back for the penalty.
Just here. Go from a maul, not a line out. Okay. Yeah. Line to middle.
Nottingham with the shortened line out. Try scorer Hiscock Smith in at scrum half. They lose control of the ball, and well, really Pickford's done very well. He's quite lucky with the extra roll too.
Tackle, Green, move. Good.
A melee of green and gold jerseys. The green looking to repel the likes of Van der Fleer. Mortimer looks for his inside centre.
Tackle, get out, back foot, stay there, stay there, stay there.
Change of direction, going to the right.
Tackle, release, Green. Stay back foot,
Swansea have driven Nottingham back to this point, but that's a good carry from Timpson. Is that the impetus that they needed? Oh, so close, so close.
Nah, I think he's genuinely gone for the ball there. He's got both hands out, so despite a lot of shouting down the sidelines, it'll just be our scrum in the middle.
That is some nobly impartial co-commentary from you, Seb. As a Nottingham player, we're not used to that on BUCS Super Rugby.
just being a nice guy early doors.
Run after it with 2 hands.
We're going to see the real you later on in the game when if it's a tighter pair.
Yeah, 75th minute could be a different story, but we're doing all right for now. So keep it unbiased.
It was the right call, wasn't it, from Rory Case? And if it had stuck, he would have gone all the way.
Yeah, good place to have a scrum here now, though. This is something that we practice a lot. We got a lot of good strike players, so we'll be looking to score early off this.
What option are you going for?
I mean, it's a big open side here. You got Furley, who's a big runner.
Well, the lack of quality ball means Brown has to mop things up. Mamodu stuttering and wrapped up.
Balls available.
Stanton.
6, thank you.
Carmichael. Well, thought about the offload and turned into a dummy almost. Mortimer to Brown. Cherry, beautiful line and hands. Timpson, this is gorgeous from Nottingham, but oh, that crucial last pass sliding forward.
Yeah, it's promising stuff from the lads. I mean, the tricky thing is the conditions out there. You know, you've seen it a few times now. The ball's going to floor, it's slowing it down, and we're looking good when we get on that front foot ball. It's just struggling to get there at the moment, and a lot of credit to Swansea's defensive line. They look like a pretty formidable thing out there.
Well, this is in stark contrast to last week when it was all about Leeds Beckett, Nottingham not firing a shot, so slow to come out of the traps. It must be enjoyable to see your team in goal down deep in the 22, but yet to convert this pressure.
Yeah, it's all good being down there, but again, you know, I think everyone knows that Swansea will find their way over the line at some point, so it's going to be about capitalising down there and getting boys over the whitewash.
Come this way, please.
Swansea really under the pump here.
So both from rows, I need to see stability, please, before the ball comes in. Keep your feet underneath you, keep your feet underneath you. There's your mark, off we go. Get the ball in, please.
Really fated for their scrum.
Crouch!
Last year, the likes of Marty Mulhall, now calling himself a Bristol Bear, having been snapped up straight from Swansea University. Well, the Nottingham scrum, it was exerting some pressure, but illegally so.
Yeah, it's an easy let off there. I mean, you'd like to see him kick it out and have a play with it, but yeah, you know, stick Rob up again and see if we can get back down there.
A healthy touch finder to relieve a bit of pressure from Bernardo Nogueira. Mentioned Portuguese under-20 international. Wasn't scouted, just applied to Swansea University. Wanted to come and study, wanted to come and play rugby. He's found himself a fine programme. One of 3 fine Welsh programmes in BUCS Super Rugby. For those of you on Twitter, you can find the Dave Rogers Championship, a little bit of an unofficial Welsh Interpro BUCS Super Rugby League that hits Cardiff Met, Cardiff and Swansea against each other across the season, charts their results.
Yeah, that's fine. On the last one, you were about second or third person back.
Bragging rights taken very, very seriously over the other side of the bridge. As we look at Mortimer tearing through and spoiling that ball.
Keep those hips in on the set, keep your legs underneath.
For land. And Swansea, they just haven't quite got going yet, have they, Seb?
Nah, I mean, you can tell that they're a physical side just with how they defend, and when they have had a few phases going, but they're just making some messy mistakes at the moment, which we've done an all right job of capitalise on just there.
One's come round and then two's gone up.
By that time, the Swansea scrum buckling legally, and the decision an easy one for Tim Allett with the front row popping up. Here we see it's a good contest up front, but right there, when you're the only one standing up, kind of takes the thought process away from the referee, and it's an easy one for him to blast. Now Henry Mortimer missed his conversion from further out, from closer in, I beg your pardon. A testing penalty for him to make amends.
Great nudge from Fishy. That's one of the things that's always coming to useful, having a 9 in your team that can nudge everything, and that's something that really helped us through last year into getting promoted up to Super BUCS. So yeah, I'm sure we'll be looking to carry that on throughout the day.
Behind the line.
But he's not showing confidence, is he? That is a meaty kick in suboptimal conditions here at Highfields. Caelan Stanton claims that one and goes for a little gallop.
Careful too.
Nottingham leading 8 points to 3. Certainly worthy of their lead at the moment.
Back foot two, step two, not from there.
Albeit
Not from there.
probably thinking they should have more of a lead given the territory and possession that they've enjoyed.
Yeah, that's a good take.
How about that for a take from Oscar Stewart? More penalties going the way of the men in gold. Swansea just can't get a foothold in this game.
Yeah, fine, I'll take it. Outside the 20. Take the line green, please. We'll get your numbers.
Well, done so well to take it. It was that pick and go.
Just no one with him.
From his fellow back three. Ian Morgan, a lot of excitement around him, but all wrapped up with nowhere to go on that occasion.
Backwards off green, taken in.
First line out loss for Nottingham.
Tackle! Tackles inside.
Still the Swans under pressure.
Out the way, 8. Good. Stay there. Use it! Fully bind, please. You've had it, 9. Good. Hold on.
They clear the decks. Don't know if you can hear that on our Atmos mics on the pitch, but the cry from the 100% biased support, nowhere boring.
Sounded like Lewis Barrett. He's normally the one you can hear. Just a chirpy, annoying Essex bloke.
Step out, lines middle.
Well, I don't think it's accurate. I thought it was an excellent clearance.
Yeah, he's got it to 10 metre. You wouldn't be upset at that, would you?
Yeah, exactly what Swansea needed. But that's just one of many things they need. Well, that is poetry in motion in the skies, isn't it?
Tackle, move green. Good 7, thank you.
Slowed up by Swansea, probably quite crucial. That's a lovely little play, the inside ball from Cherry to Moyes.
Yeah, Moyes has done well to hang on to that as well. Haven't seen that yet. That must have been put in this week.
Well, that is fair game for Swansea to latch onto, and Rory Casey, if he can pick it up and burn away.
Good tackle by Elijah.
But he can't. Elijah Hiscock-Smith showing the gas that we saw for the try in defence. Still the Swans come. First sighting of them in the Nottingham 22. starved of possession, starved of territory.
Yeah, this will really test the boys now.
Do they feed themselves with a try on this occasion? Well, it looked to be an excellent counter-up, but side entry means, well, that Nogueira, well, you can see the number 10, he's already shaping to pop this in the corner. That was just a breakdown in rhythm by the backs. Rory Case had a look around, great pickup.
He took the guy on his outside shoulder and just cut round.
Hiscock Smith, wow,
Yeah,
he's
good
got some
work.
wheels for a back row.
Yeah, he's got an engine as well. Both our back rows, Timo as well. Not the heaviest back rows in the league by any means, but they can both shift around the pitch, which goes a long way, especially with situations like that where you're having to track back a good 40 metres.
I'd say from our vantage point and the stream that Elijah Hiscock Smith looks reasonably formidable physically.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, he's always he's a big gym hitter. I mean, like most of the boys, but yeah, he holds all the numbers in the team. So yeah, he knows how to use them on the pitch as well.
Well, he's going to need to use every last ounce of that power to try and repel the Swans, who've built a nice, promising wedge. Struggling to get any momentum initially, but now they've got the nudge. It's in the hands of Lloyd. More green jerseys join the cause. Centres in there, only two backs out wide now. Breaks away, squirts out, and Swansea do so well to keep a hold of it with hungry Nottingham players streaming out.
Stay there.
Swansea rebuild.
Yeah, you know, it'll feel like a big win from the lads if they can keep out Swansea from
Get away,
here.
Gold!
From our analysis, this is where we know Swansea do their damage. You know, they capitalise well on our other teams' mistakes, so yeah, it'd be a big mini win if we could keep them out here.
Well, they're edging ever closer. 1 metre shy they are now. Bodies round the ball.
Tackle, back feet, Gold! Stay
Another
up,
pick
Pete,
and
stay
go.
up.
Another drive. Still there short. Well, there's the line, there's the reach, and there's the try from Rory Case.
Yeah, good try, good line. Not a whole lot you can do from there to stop someone like that running at your line.
It was the heavy bruising work of the forwards that meant that Nottingham just had to commit numbers to that breakdown. And then Rory Case, who got them up there in the first place by scooping up the inaccurate passing of Nottingham, who gets his try. 2 in 2 matches for the outside centre. And Nogueira takes the lead. Well, here it is. It was the close quarters carrying from the forwards that sucked the gold jerseys in, and Case spotted a gaping hole that couldn't be closed in time. The Swans with a try, and the Swans, after all that time in their 22, leading.
Yeah, the
8
boys,
points to 10.
Good take. Yeah, the boys will be really disappointed. You know, they've had the fair share of possession, momentum in this game, but I mean that just shows the standard of this league. You know, you make one little mistake and you can get punished for it.
Well, it's almost a role reversal of last week against Beckett, where they had all the possession for the first 30 minutes, and then it was Nottingham scoring with not just one late try, but 2 late tries to head into the sheds with a lead. So a test of the home side's character in a different sense, coming from a different perspective today. And for Swansea, it'll be that sense of, have we weathered the storm?
Set the line,
and is it now our time?
Yeah, I'm sure the lads will be looking to do much of the same. You know, Brownie just tried it there. Well, it didn't quite come off. Just get it down there, try and live down in their half, and then keep that ball when we're down there, and hopefully it pays off. Yeah, there's plenty of scorers out there, so I'm sure they'll be looking to do much of the same.
Well, that looks forward to me, but still we attack down this left flank. That's a nice weave away from the defenders from Burley. Again, the ball spilling loose, and Mamodu quickest to react.
Yeah, a bit scrappy down there. From the side, I didn't really look who's gone forward, who's not gone forward, but yeah, I think they'll be happy with that outcome there.
Probably Mark took one of your players on the way forward, so.
Mamodu just hasn't quite been able to get away yet. Haven't been able to see his pace or his feet.
No head-to-head, please, that side, find a gap. Give him a gap.
And that's a case of throw a dart at which knock-on you wanted to penalise there. The ball squirming and pinballing around from green to gold and back again.
Crouch! Bang! Set! Stay there, one, stay square, stay square.
Mortimer, involved in the England students last year. Linking up with his fly half, who gets a trademark kick through, and it's created some pressure again on Swansea, who've been forced to turn and regroup, get behind the ball again.
Use it now! Don't push him in. You've pushed him in. Don't compete.
Seemingly comfortable, very, very happy to defend.
No, stay there.
Using that defence to drive their opposition back and to the boot. Land. Well, into centre field. This is an opportunity for Brown, who again happy to chip. Will he collect? Yes, he does. And dummy as well. That is sensational from the fly half.
Yeah.
Highfields erupts for a bit of magic from Max Brown.
That's his game all over as well. You give him a little bit of space, you give him a little bit of time on the ball, and yeah, he's electric. He can move quickly. He's got a boot. He can go both ways. So yeah, we've seen him do that a lot of times, but that was an outrageous try.
Quite brilliant from Max Brown, man of the match last week. Doing special things again here to reclaim the lead for Nottingham. Let's take another look at this. It was the loose kick from Davland into the centre of the field that opened up a few more opportunities for Brown, but what about that? The collect, the instinctive dummy. And I'll tell you what, he nearly loses the ball on the dive as well. Again, that could have been a howler rather than a highlight. Let's take a look. Let's see if he keeps a hold of this.
Nearly got him.
Oh. Spares his blushes only by a whisker.
Use it
now. As it is, with him holding on to possession, that's us talking about a memorable try this season. The kicking game continuing to challenge and prove an Achilles heel for Swansea. Replacements for Swansea, James Wallace, McLaughlin, and 17 on for Tom Zuga
his head in front of your shoulder. The second one, that one was much better.
And Seb, a couple of minutes ago, in possession, leading by 5. Nottingham, happy with this?
Yeah, I reckon the boys will be over the moon with that. It's very easy when you leak a try like that to have a bit of a breakdown, but no, the boys have done well to keep their heads and, by the looks of it, stick to exactly the same game plan, which is strong kick chase and yeah, a lot of defence, a lot of the same. That's a good run from the winger there.
Well, the half isn't over, and Swansea just seeking that score. They're finding a bit of paint, tights to the Nottingham supporters. And Swansea, who come to Highfields, who started this season with a growing reputation, looking like they're going to be going into the sheds trailing at half-time to the new boys.
Yeah, okay, Green, you're good there, I think so. 2, let's go. Have we got numbers in? 5, yeah. Time on. Your gap, Gold.
Pickford, who's thrown well in the conditions, goes to the back ambitiously and finds Stanton. Nottingham continuing to find the meters a lot easier in contact than Swansea, and well, there's an example, and brilliantly held onto by Vaughan. It was a risky offload, and Vaughan did magnificently to hold on to it. Cherry, the captain, almost stripped, but Brown's in possession, and we know good things happen off him. Moyes, can he link with his winger? Oh!
Just needed to go a second earlier, I reckon.
Well, Nottingham finished the half on a flourish. They don't add a third try, but they do go into the half-time break, leading Swansea University 15 points to 10. Well, if there wasn't enough wind in the Nottingham cells, they'll be truly buoyed by the throng of support that they have to shoulder their way through into the sheds. Rob Carmichael reciprocates with some applause of his own, and conversely, the body language of those green Swansea jerseys is that of a team who've been battered, buffeted, and lacked a lot of attacking penetration all first half, Seb.
Yeah, I mean, as you said earlier, it does look like the roles are reversed. That's normally how we do things. We normally struggle with possession in the first half and then look to climb things back in the second half, but things have gone our way this time. We've done well to keep the ball at times. We've kicked well, and yeah, it's paid off. Obviously, it helps when you have little moments of magic like that from Brownie, but yeah, I'd say all in all the boys will be pretty chuffed going back into the change rooms at half time.
Well, this is the action from that half, and aptly this is where pretty much all of it took place, and it was that pressure from the gold jerseys of Nottingham. And pick your flanker, because both of them were there on the spot to dot down, but it was Elijah Hiscock-Smith who rattled Swansea and got Nottingham rolling on the scoreboard. Swansea did get a penalty, which was traded with Henry Mortimer later in the half. And on what felt like their only foray into the Nottingham 22 resulted in that try for Rory Case. You wondered, had they weathered the storm? Were Swansea going to go on an attacking bit of momentum, but Magic Max Brown with some invention from deep and precision chip and chase play. And that feint just to send Oscar Stewart packing to the touchline really lifted the energy here at Highfields. Got Nottingham back in front, and that's why they lead here at half-time. So, plenty of action on a wet and soggy day here at Highfields, but there was even more action this time last week in slightly more favourable running rugby conditions as we kicked off BUCS Super Rugby with the visit of Leeds Beckett to newly promoted Nottingham, and they started their campaign, their journey, their story in the highest echelons of University Rugby with a famous win. BUCS Super Rugby makes its triumphant return for its 5th season, and one that promises to be bigger than ever. Welcome back, everybody. BUCS Super Rugby is back underway.
Oh, he's there on the inside line. That's a beautiful score. Oh, Durham playing champagne rugby.
And here they come, acres of space. And Max Brown finishes the job.
The 5th season of BUCS Super Rugby is underway, so buckle on up.
Using his winger who comes across and glides through the hole. Connor Moyes gets wrapped up by his squad.
It's more than just a game.
It's community.
It's support.
It's culture.
It's mental health.
It's friendship. It's for your mind.
My name is Brian Moore, an ex-Nottingham University rugby player. I gained 64 caps for England, and I'm back today, going over old ground and some new. I tell you what's nice, being alongside people like Brabant and Yping and Robert Clift and other great Olympians and so on. It's quite humbling in a way. It's very nice as well. Can I just say how jealous I am, actually, of you all. In my day, things weren't always better. We had one aircraft Hagger-style sports centre, about half the size of that, and one really poor AstroTurf pitch. And when you finish university, all you'll have, you'll remember. You'll remember these days for the rest of your life. But the thing is, your memories are made now. Even if you have another chance, you won't get that 80 minutes back, you won't get that exam back or whatever. And if you want your memories to be good, you better do it now. That is the back of my old hall of residence, Sherwood Hall. My room, when I was president, was that room there. Because as president, you had a double room, which was great. Well, coming back, there's so many memories. It's difficult to come, well, they just flood back. The friendships you create through sport are quite special because that shared experience is there. And sport is a big part of that. Because you're here in your formative years, and they are still being formative, even though you're notionally classed as an adult. They mean a lot more to you, and the memories are probably more acute. This is virtually the same. The tables were this way. Every year, you know, there was a proper food fight.
Yes.
And the staff quite rightly refused to clear up. They said it's right. They were quite right. This year is a centenary of the University Rugby Club. So I would urge people to come, because it will not least because it'll be a brilliant night in itself. But I tell you what, it will give you all these memories. You'll feel like I do. You'll feel like a child again.
Plenty going on at the University of Nottingham, and plenty going on here at Highfields, because the home side, the new boys, lead once again, 15 points to 10 against Swansea University. And in all truth, Seb, they could have been leading by more, given the possession, given the territory.
Yeah, we always knew it was going to be pretty tight going into the half. We knew it wasn't going to be a big old scoreline today. But yeah, the lads will go in and look to do exactly the same in the second half, which will be massive. Going into what is the hardest four string of games in Loughborough, Met, Durham and Exeter, so yeah, having 2 wins under the belt would give us the shot of confidence that I'm sure everyone will think they need going into what could be a pretty tough 3 away games in a row.
That is a tumultuous run of fixtures. So Loughborough away next at their big game. They've got big crowds coming in for that one. You're going to be in the stadium, I understand. Big event there, so nice showcase piece. Durham away. Durham haven't lost at Hollowdrift for over 2 years. Cardiff Met away, where you not only have to face Cardiff Met, you have to face the infamous Cardiff Met Ultras, who are their band of supporters who are going to be at the Cardiff Arms Park this evening among 6,000 people. 6,000 people, I'm repeating that again, for the Cardiff clash. And then afterwards, you get to welcome the Cup champions Exeter here to Highfields, so it doesn't get tougher than that, does it?
Yeah, exactly. You know, when the fixture list comes out and everyone saw that, there was a bit of hanging heads. But yeah, exactly. You know, great start last week, and then if we can build on that and get 2 wins in a row at home, I think that would give us a lot of good confidence going into a tough string of games. So the boys will be looking to build upon the last half and just go at it and try and do more of the same.
You don't need to know the colours of the jerseys of the respective universities to decipher which is the home side, given the reception of the 2 sides coming out. It's Nottingham in gold, their change trip against Swansea University, who were freshly promoted last year. Took them until round 4 to register their first victory. Currently, they're trailing the newest of the BUCS Super Rugby teams, who already have a win in their back pocket from round 1. Currently in the box seat to go back-to-back in round 2. Max Brown gets us underway. His bit of magic lighting up for the first half. Rory Case, try scorer himself, clears the decks nice and smartly for a Swansea side who need to get on the ball. They need some possession, they need some phases, and quite simply, they'd like to be playing a bit of rugby down in Nottingham's half, won't they, Seb?
Yeah, they've come a long way up a long way here, so I'm sure they'll be looking to turn things around in this second half, no doubt. It's going to be about whether we can defend and keep them out, I guess.
Tackle, move, Green!
Well, there's a lesson learnt there. Don't go high on Freddie Vaughan. Big fend, and James Cherry sliding through the gap. Mortimer on the shoulder and to the toe, and Moyes won't be quite fast enough. The touchline beats him, but great intent from Nottingham to start the half.
Fellas.
Well, Gregory was tested from the throw in the sky. Does very well, in fact.
Thank you.
This defensive pressure from Nottingham is relentless. It was a hallmark of the victory against Beckett last week.
James, that was your own
So
player.
comfortable, not in possession. And that is a brilliant kick that Moyes does so well to gather and find Allen.
Now, release, Green! Good.
Mortimer, well, goes high, goes chipping over the top, and 3 Swansea players get themselves in a muddle.
No, let go, let go.
Yeah, you can already tell that the lads are coming out and doing exactly what we've talked about all week, and that is just making it hell for Swansea back there, kicking it down there and having to work to get out of it. and yeah, letting boys like Moisey, Talon, Brownie do their work from the backfield.
Tom Allen to Brown. Surveys his options and puts his head down and takes some contact. Galen Stanton. Grown into the game, Stanton. It was all about the lighthouse Carmichael and his efforts in the line-out, but Stanton taking more responsibility, although on that occasion wince as he gets up because he's culpable for the penalty.
Yeah, it's a good turnover as well, and that is something that you can tell is drilled into the Swansea lads. You know they can get over the ball, and you know they're going to make our life tough going and retaining it. So yeah, hopefully we can stop a few more of those over the next 30 minutes.
Pick up.
Lloyd hunts out Chris Thompson in the skies.
Still up, lads. That stop
Working hard in the core, yanking away.
Don't lift the leg. Go.
Lands. Okay, finally we see the backs in play and the heavy carrying from Clean Morgan. A lot of noise, a lot of promise around him. And Swansea opening Nottingham up. They try using their boot to unlock the defence.
That's a great turnover. I think that was Talon who, yeah, he got hit as he was kicking there. He's got up and he's made a big turnover there. I'm sure the boys will be glad to be out of their 22.
Well, it was just a glimpse of some cohesion from Swansea. This is when they chose to try and trickle one behind the defence. I'm not sure whether that was the right option. And a few shenanigans post-breakdown steal as well. A few quiet words in each other's scrum hats. And you have to tip your cap to Lewis Pickford, who has been throwing with supreme accuracy. This time James Cherry, the man at the back. They've mixed up their line-outs well, Nottingham.
Yeah, I mean at 84 kilos, you'd hope he's pretty good as in the line-out as a hooker. But yeah, he's been class today. He hasn't missed a thing, so top effort from him.
Ah, here come Nottingham, storming through the middle and almost a brilliant bit of vision and execution from Alex Sabin.
Come back to the original knock-on.
Yeah, he looked like a bit like a deer in headlights there, did Sad. Didn't really look like he knew what he was doing on his own in the 22, but yeah, that's class. And the lads are looking to build up on that.
Alex Sabin, the prop who made the break right there in the 3 jersey, he very much emblematic of what BUCS Super Rugby is all about. He's played every team from 5ths to 1sts, from tail to snout, as it were. But just not quite enough composure there to find Mortimer, who was wide in support. That's a great story, isn't it? Starting in the 5th team, working his way up, and here he is, biggest university rugby stage in the world now.
Yeah, exactly. And he's good. He likes talking about it as well. Me and him started our rugby kind of similar times around in Nottingham. Yeah, he was just some absolute giant who was playing for the 5th team, and he very, very quickly moved up to kind of 2s, 1s, and yeah, since we resumed our rugby here after COVID, he's very much been in the mixer, in the performance squad since we come back.
Two, place the arms, please.
Pickford, double top, yet again. Variety in the line-out has been so impressive. This Nottingham side Actually, they did a walkthrough in the clubhouse before the game when I was here early before the game, just walking through their range, their variety. All wearing sliders actually, so it wasn't particularly dynamic, but certainly done the job because hardly missed the trick
Thrown across and came in the side.
in the aerial set piece today. And they'll have a penalty.
19 green offside at the line out. I've got your mark. Green edge of the peg. If you get thrown across, come back round, please. Yeah, thank you.
Pickford finding Carmichael, but he's challenged.
Tackle! No goal!
Swansea steal the ball.
Stay there. Wait for the lift. There we go. Out you go, 5. Yeah, that's gone.
Good pressure means Nottingham take the possession. Brown looking to release his backs. Moyes leaves the ball behind.
He's forgotten the ball there. It's a rare mistake from Moyes, normally one of the solid and senior players of the team, so he'll be he'll be kicking himself about that.
Well, Moyes scored 2 wonderful tries last week with Max Brown, the architect. Popped up on his fly half shoulder for the first and careered through a gaping hole. It has been rather orchestrated by his fly half, and the second perfectly weighted kick and chase into the corner to seal the game. You see Rodri Lewis, one first year on, wearing 21 for Swansea.
Yeah, come this way, fellas, please.
A nominee of Welsh Premiership Try of the Season last year for Aberavon. So a player capable of conjuring something. And that's rather what Swansea need right now. They've lacked cohesion. They've lacked rhythm.
But
they only trail by 5.
Still in. Ball's you.
Majestic take from Tom Allen, and off and away Nottingham go.
Sideline.
Ed Timpson wins a penalty, and Brown goes to the boot. He's had a 50-22.
That was not a 50-22. We'll come back. You kicked it from outside.
That's what Brown's appealing for in the centre of the field. It was perfectly judged, wasn't it? Skidding off the turf.
Yeah.
The referee brings us back to the penalty. And this is some kick for Henry Mortimer to be taking on.
Yeah, I'm sure there would have been conversations about Brownie having it as well. Brownie's kind of more the Elliot Daly in the team, and he takes the long range ones. But yeah, this isn't Fish's range. I mean, he spends a lot of time out in the park practicing this type of stuff. So hopefully, we'll see it go over.
Time you run, lads.
Mortimer, captain's player of the year last year, stepped up in the first half to slot one similar. Can he repeat the feat?
I think that's just slid left.
Plenty of distance, just lacking the accuracy.
I'm sure the boys will be happy how they've gone out in the first 10-15 minutes.
Well, Max Brown had good cause there to be arguing for the 50-22. It was right on the margin of the halfway, but if the referee had given it, Nottingham would have had a line out right on the 5. As it is, it's Brown going back to the boot, and he does possess a cannon, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Driving
he really does.
Nogueira back. And this will suit Nottingham because they've been the team that's kicked better, they've received better, and they've returned better.
Come out, get out the 10.
As Case bears down on Brown and having just picked Nottingham up. It is Brown who's looked safe as houses under everything that's come his way today. Just spilling with Rory Case appearing in his peripheral.
Yeah, he'll be frustrated with that, Brownie, but yeah, hopefully crack on. Same old thing, he's doing the same thing, looking to kick the corners, and it's going well so far.
For you as a player who plays outside, Max, do you admire the strategy and the tactical nature, and you in awe of the way that he manoeuvres the ball around the field on his boot, or do you think, put a bit of air on it and get it to me out in the wide channels?
No, on the whole, you just got to sit there and let him do his thing. You know, obviously, it doesn't go to plan 100% of the time, but yeah, when it does, it works more often than it doesn't. So you just got to sit there. And he's also a hell of a playmaker as well. He'll put you through holes. So no, it's good fun playing outside Brownie.
Well, Lewis shows us what he can do with his right foot, and what he can do is find his wide man.
Sideline's gone back.
Bit of inaccuracy, but Swansea coming away. Gregory, the captain, hardly seen him in attack. Hardly seen any Swans in attack this game. Oh, the kicking game is contagious, and it's not quite as precise as Nottingham's, but Swansea, the main thing is they retain possession. Bob Bray, met by 2 gold jerseys.
Advantage over.
Tighter as Gregory goes out the back. On the whip round, Brad Roderick. And just as some phases are being patched together, Rodri Lewis loses his thread, and Swansea heads dip again. As said, we're just going to take another look at this passage of Swansea getting some plays together. Nogueira trying to bring more of his outside backs there. Oh, look at that pesky play from Caelan Stanton, just grabbing the arm of Rodri Lewis as he was looking to distribute. What a nuisance it is having 2 long tentacled opposition second rows like Carmichael and Stanton always looking to spoil. But what I was going to ask you, Seb, is that for all of Nottingham's dominance, and I feel bad for Swansea supporters who are tuning in because it probably sounds like we're doing them down a little bit. They're only trailing by 5, Swansea. Is that going to be itching in the back of Nottingham minds with so much time on the clock and them having enjoyed such a prolonged purple patch in the game? There has to be a time when Swansea get their act together.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think they'll all be thinking of, and the main thing will be keeping off that 5-metre line. You know, they're a hard team to stop when they get close to the line. So I know that 100% all the boys will be thinking about, 1, increasing that score deficit, and 2, just the same, try and keep them out, R22 and try and live down their end of the pitch.
Crouch! Bye! 5, set.
That'll do nicely for the home front row. Frustration compounded for Swansea. The knock-on coming from Caelan Stanton's disruption on Rodri Lewis, and from the resulting scrum, a penalty to Nottingham. We'll take a look here. Just looks
Do you want it now?
there like James Wallace McLaughlin, a man guilty of going to the floor early. A few replacements begin to pour on for the men in gold. Who have we got here? Jed Allen in 18, Tosin Tariba. Interestingly, Nottingham have 4 props on the bench today. Joel Barker, Fred Marr, Jed Allen and Tosin Tariba.
Yeah, you can see that VDF, Big Archie's moved out to 6 as well. So that was one of Paul's tactics, using him as a front row and 6, which is something that you don't see too often. But no, he'll, I'm sure he'll like the opportunity to have a little run about at the back.
That's a testament to the dynamism of the pack that Nottingham offer. Also Jamie Whitwell, 23, coming onto the field as well. So bit of fresh personnel for us to assess out here. And fresh personnel with expectations upon them. And for your Nottingham persuasion to see out the game, or for Swansea to turn the tide as they set up camp on the 22 with a line out. Lloyd to Thompson.
More!
What can Swansea do from here?
Stay there, 4. Stay there, 8.
Some momentum.
You can't go on 2. You can't play 2.
Step by step. Rodri Lewis has had enough and he goes searching
no,
for a hole.
Too long,
Doesn't
too
find
long.
one.
Let go, no.
Almost turned over. Gregory.
Let go, 7. Good.
The captain.
Use it. Arrive up, Latcher, stay on your feet. Let go, 18.
Back to basics for this Swansea side. Forwards driving from close range. This time they go one
no
out.
one competed, you backed off.
Nogueira calls for the ball out the back. There's so much pressure from the gold jerseys. Knock-on felt inevitable as they poured through. And again, Nottingham's defence are a match and more
but you guys backed
for the Swansea strike.
If you'd stayed to compete,
Yeah, I'm sure the guys will be really chuffed with that set of play there. I mean, that's where you know it's going to get tough when Swansea start creeping up and getting closer towards that try line. And yeah, it just didn't work out the back there. So I'm sure the boys will be very happy to be let off there.
With your expert back hat on,
shoulders, lads, please.
Is there a sense that Bernardo Nogueira is a little bit flat? Like Swansea don't seem to have much time on the ball when they do get the opportunity to go wide with their backs.
It's hard to tell. I mean, it's obviously slow ball out there. You know, there's nothing quick coming, so you know, he hasn't really enjoyed much space in front of him. And I'm sure it's a combination of things. You know, Brownie, Vorney, Jamie Anand in the centres there, and at 10 will be looking to really suffocate that midfield. You know, that's something we talk about very regularly, is, you know, setting that line speed early. And then, yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, Swansea haven't enjoyed too much of the front foot yet, so probably one of the harder days to be at 10 when it's greasy, when it's wet, it's windy, and, yeah. So it'll be a tough one, but I'm sure it will come.
Set. Relax. I'm coming this side. Coming this one. There's your mark. There's your mark. Get on with it. Lads, stop chatting nonsense and get on with the game. You talk as if you've got legal documents. No one's gone anywhere. It's awful scrummaging. Put it out. Stop the chat. There's your mark.
Ref mark, one of the best inventions in the modern game, isn't it?
Yeah, you're certainly not going to say anything back to him either. He's a pretty terrifying, pretty terrifying bloke, Tim, and yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of noise in that front row and that scrum area right now as well.
Use it, Gold, use it! Use it or reset! It was a use it or reset. Come to me, here's your mark.
Entering.
Lads, you went sideways before you went anywhere. There's your mark, stop talking, start scrimmaging, off you go.
What's been an absorbing game, but one has failed to yield any points in this second half.
Yeah, it certainly hasn't been a boring half of rugby. It's just you know, both teams, as soon as they get into that danger area, seem to be struggling to hold on to the ball. So yeah, I can imagine with 15 to go that we'll see some action and bound to be some tries and some points going in the last 15 as teams go at it.
It's Swansea who need the points urgently, and a big shunt from some of their replacements, and their starting 8 force a knock on at the base, and this is what they need. This is the platform for Swansea in the 22. Big blindside to work with.
Green 7.
Yeah, I'm sure the forward pack there, the Nottingham lads will be disappointed to turn around a scrum in their own 22. So yeah, a bit more defending for the lads now, which they never seem to get too bored of. So yeah, it'll be a good result to keep Swansea out.
There we go. Bind up.
There's another new member onto the field, 20, Di Francis. Easily distinguished by his mullet, who Hugh Gustafsson described it as being horrific before the game. Well, he's asking Di Francis to be the difference in coming on to help lay this platform for Roderick to go dancing through. 5 meters shy, Lewis looks one way, changes his mind. Nogueira wrapped up at the back, and gold arms and paws, sticky ones are all over the ball, and the roar, the swarm of yellow jerseys coming in.
I think that was VDF over the ball, but I mean ultimately that came from Moisey reading it out there. It's a difficult place to be, out on your own on the wing, making big defensive reads, but he's done that well, and ultimately given Big Archie enough time to get his hands over the ball.
Well, here we are. The carry initially from Brad Roderick was fantastic, right up to the 5 metre. Nottingham defenders scrambling. Bit of hesitation from Lewis, and Nogueira, as has been the way throughout much of this contest, read out the back, wrapped up, and harassed into a penalty.
Another great line out from Pickers there again, especially in these conditions. Hitting the back is no easy feat, so having a great day out there.
Well, you say no easy feat, he has made it look like child's play all day out there today.
Hey, that's a tackle, release!
And it's given Nottingham a short set-piece ball to attack and use. It's a knock-on, but that's because it was a high tackle.
Yeah, it's a bit of a let-off that. Maybe just caught out. The space was there, but maybe just caught passing at the wrong time. So yeah, I'm sure the boys will be feel pretty good not to be much back there. But yeah, I mean, it's looking good. If we can keep our set-piece going forward, then hopefully you should get some points from this.
A greedy chunk of the touchline, chewed off from the boot of Max Brown. Look at the penalty, just one of those lazy seatbelt tackles. coming in from Gabe Lacey.
Go! Now we go! Thank you.
Stepping back
You
in.
already had a chat
just
back there, that's enough.
leave an arm hanging out there and catch the net. No real malice. But Nottingham will have malicious try-scoring intent from here. This time, they get their maul, often driving early.
Get out. Good, thank you.
Swansea bodies spurt out of the feet of the Nottingham maul, which heels round the corner, lurches forward again. Mortimer has enough, gives it to the backs to play with. And all the way! Well, just desserts for a dominant Nottingham performance in this half. The replacement barrelling his way over. Try time for the University of Nottingham.
Yeah, he's done really well then. I mean, ultimately the maul's given us our platform to run off that. It was a nice little shovel pass from Brownie, and yeah, Jamie's definitely not a small bloke. He's gone over there with ease. So I'm sure boys will be really happy with that set of play, getting down there, a few pens, clean set piece, and yeah, they try to reward it.
Mortimer chose precisely the right time, and while Anand met green traffic,
Green
he only grabbed a taste of Gabe Lacey's shoulder before ricocheting off and across the line for a crucial score.
Okay.
Seb,
tackle, knee down.
Are on the brink of 2 wins from 2.
Use it, go.
What's going through your mind? What are we going through your teammates, your squad mates' minds?
Yeah, I mean, the lads out there, I'm sure they'll be trying to keep it cool, just see the game out. That's a great take from Moses. He's a big winger, but he's got up there.
On Nottingham,
there's Tal on the outside.
Aren't done here. They go streaking down the left flank. So many options and so much strength out the back. The ball's still alive. Oh,
that would have been a good one to finish the game off. Maybe inside was on. Hard to tell from over here on the other side of the pitch, but that was Whitwell. He's done really well to shake off the first defender. And yeah, I'm sure that the guys will be looking to just try and keep it pretty cool on the field. It's easy to get carried away, and you don't want to do that against a side like Swansea. And then yeah, if we do get the result, then
no, you're playing it into it.
be 2 games out of 2, which I don't think anyone would have expected in our start to this campaign. So yeah, that would be a huge result for us.
The job's not done yet.
Stay there, 4.
12 points to lead. Swansea pegged back,
you go, thank you.
close to their 5-metre. Nottingham really enjoying their time with the ball in hand.
Tackle now, let go.
It's a little messier than Tom Allen would like. Look at that footwork from Ed Timpson.
Tackle, come out, Green.
Bouncing his way across the 10.
Yeah, the lads are starting to look like they're playing with a bit of confidence now.
Well, Max Brown, we've seen him do that so many times, not just this week but last week. To dribble one through off the laces, and the turnovers that Nottingham are getting are proving so difficult for Swansea to defend. There's gold jerseys lining up wide right. Connor Moyes into the corner.
Yeah, he's done well there. A smart play from Moisey. He's not a very smart guy outside of rugby, but yeah, he to nudge that, put it on the foot, and then yeah, take the line out down on Swansea's 5 metres. Yeah, big result from that set of play. And it's nice on a day like today to see the guys flinging the ball about a bit. You know, a bit of blue skies starting to come out over Nottingham. So hopefully for the last 10 minutes we can see some bit of liquid rugby going on.
Liquid rugby, you heard it there from Seb.
Hang on. Are we changing this player?
Just taking a pause for an injury to Di Francis. Close to the halfway line as a few of the big fellas sucking the diesel.
Yeah, time's off, bud. Is that a change? Yeah, okay.
Looks like that will be the last we see of Di Francis.
Water off, please, lads.
Sadly only just joined us, but is being led away by the physio, and we're back to the 5 metre line.
Wait for the whistle, step in the 15.
Seb, you spoke about the liquid rugby of the BUCS. The only liquid Nottingham will be interested in is the oil to grease the wheels of a driving maul, to get them over and across for another try. They eke ever closer. Ooh, just the door slammed at the last minute before a gyration and a wrestle across the paint. The human lighthouse, Rob Carmichael, shows his dexterity and not just scores a try but shines a light on this new team. Nottingham University, even brighter here at Highfields.
Yeah, you mentioned tentacles earlier, but I mean, that's just him. Looks like he's been folded on the try line there, stopped, and somehow managed to move his arm around and get the ball down. So the boys were really happy with that. Yeah, hopefully after that you do well to chuck it away from there.
Someone over there should be doing the official counting, not me.
Mortimer takes a lick of paint on the way through. Nottingham
Is that a change?
not only stretch their lead through the gymnastics of big Rob Carmichael, but they have a bonus point as well. Maximum points in the offing for Nottingham if they can see out this match, and they might not just see this match out, they might career to the finish line. Cherry smash as the offloading play opens up Swansea again. They're circling the wagons here, aren't they, Swansea? Unravelling with every Nottingham pass, every Nottingham offload, every big fella carrying forward. Cherry, the captain, ever dynamic, ever looking for men around him, and he finds Jed Allen.
No hands.
Nottingham aren't done. They want more. Brown out the back to an opposition player, Brad Roderick. Swansea. Well, sadly, that just sums their afternoon up.
Green. I'll find out here. How many goals? 7, please.
So 4.5 minutes left. Nottingham 29, Swansea 10. Max Brown leaves the field. And Seb, it's time to start thinking about man of the match. I'll give you this play to consider some contenders.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, that. I mean, there's been a lot of key players here today. Thought Brownie's had another great game. Fish is at 9. Henry Mortimer, he's looked really solid. His kicking game's turned us on really well. And the forwards, I mean, I think all of them have put in a big old shift today to match what Swansea brought up to us. So, yeah, it's a tricky decision on who get that today. I'm sure there'll be plenty of lads who'll get at me later for not giving it to them, but.
Six to go. No.
the dying embers of this match at Highfields, which is turning in
the ball's at the front, mate.
Something.
That's a tackle, Green, get out of the way. Don't play it, Seven, don't play it. That was a tackle.
Boys.
Ball was at the front. No. Use it.
This has been a truly, truly comprehensive performance as more doom and gloom descends on Swansea and their ambitions of getting anything to take back to Wales with them. Another drop ball, all under the pressure of the Nottingham defence. So, here we go. We heard the runners and the riders as we see Fred Marr and Alex Connaughton come onto the field. But who is your man of the match, sir?
Yeah, so as I said, I think standout performances today. Ed Timpson had a great game at 7, back from injury. Elijah at 6, and the forward pack's been monumental. But Henry Mortimer today is my man of the match. His kicking, his decision making on the ball. And he just kept us ticking over for the whole day. Great off the tee, so yeah, another stellar performance from him. I'm sure he'll be very happy back in the changing rooms, and I'm sure he'll thank me later as well.
So you got a pact with Henry Mortimer, have you? A little side deal going on.
Yeah, informally.
Well, Mortimer is slotting in at 10 now.
Use it,
Max Brown off the field, so we'll see what he's got in his box of tricks at first receiver. Well, it's about distribution for the 9-turn 10 as the backs get invited to go on the attack, and well, they can wear 9, they can wear 10, doesn't matter. Both these half-backs can kick, and Swansea demoralisingly are pinned back in their 22 once again.
Gold edge of the paint, Green, step out.
Swansea, sadly, are a team who are just desperate to hear the final whistle now.
Go, Green.
Yeah, credit to them. It's a long old way to come up, and you know, every team has one of those days where it just doesn't click, and I think maybe it's been one of those days. So, all credit to them.
Another chance for Nottingham, no.
Separate pod change. Separate pod shifted. Let go, 7, put your hands down, please. Thank you. Separate pod, it's obstruction.
Well, how about that? All the tricks in defence, in attack. But the brilliant work of Conor Moyes undone by the knock-on. So clock to 80 by our reckoning. We're not completely in step by the referee.
There was a maul, wasn't a line out.
Appreciate that you won't really be on tenterhooks because this one is well and truly wrapped up by the home side. A few celebrations tonight, Seb, could you imagine, around the university?
Yeah, I'm sure there will be. You know, there's a lot of emotion going into this game. You know, we knew it was a step up after Beckett, so I'm sure there will be some celebrations after. Some of which we'll be watching the threes go play down in West Bridgeford. But, yeah, it's sure to be a good club day, this one.
Big step left and then walk round, goal. All step left. 2 minutes. Can't say it started with you, it's more your loose head, sir.
Last chance for Swansea to take a little bit of consolation from this game. It's messy.
Broke away, tackle!
Fortunate for them to come away with possession, and again, potential of the out-the-back play is read and snuffed out by the Nottingham defence. You just don't want to let anything through their ranks. Another two-man hit. The commitment is all there as Chris Thompson goes barraging his way forward. Low chop coming in from Barker.
Okay, lost 20. Use it.
Gregory. Well, he hasn't given up, has he, the captain, as he runs into the big shoulder of Fred Marr. A knock-on at the base. Once again, with Swansea in the red zone, I've lost count of the number of times we've said that. This will be a desperately disappointing afternoon for Swansea, Seb.
Yeah, I mean, it's always tough whenever you're playing away. There's an added little bit of pressure, and then sometimes, as I said earlier, things don't always go your way, and it's a lot more difficult to fix on the field than it might look. So, obviously Swansea will be back. I'm sure they'll be looking to fix things soon, and they'll be back to it next week.
Stay on, refuse. Hold 21-8.
To Mortimer. Finds Rory Case, who has never tired of attacking and defending all afternoon. He got his side's try. He's been responsible for some of the brightest Swansea moments, few and far between as there have been. More loose play means fresh opportunity for gold jerseys to pour forward. Well gathered, but well tackled, Tom Allen. He's had a good game.
Use it!
A few tired bodies out there. I mean, it is one of those games. It's tough when it's going back and forth, 22 to 22. So
possession coughed up, a show, a go, and Nottingham finish with a flourish.
Yeah, I think that's Gregor Watson gotten over in the corner. He'll be chuffed with that. And a nice little try to round things off here as well.
Well, Gregor Watson, quickest to react on his bike, and with all that space and all the confusion from a defence in transition. The mechanical engineering masters engineering Nottingham's fifth and final try. Story of Swansea's day, that. Handling errors and conceded possession, giving Nottingham players the chance to capitalise, and while Mortimer's conversion doesn't sail through the uprights, listen to that chant. The University of Nottingham have well and truly announced themselves to BUCS Super Rugby. Play 2, 1-2, maximum bonus points, maximum kudos, and a 34-10 defeat of Swansea University here at Highfields.
Coming round again. Well played, lad. Well done. Well done. Well played. Well played.
Well, Seb,
you're all right. Yeah, good on.
Life's pretty good if you're from the University of Nottingham.
Yeah, I mean, everyone will be really happy with that. The fans, obviously, everyone's getting behind the first team now. And obviously the boys that are out there today will be overjoyed with that one. Not something that we thought was going to happen. 2 games into it, but obviously that puts us into nice confidence there going into our hard run of fixtures coming up over the next 4 weeks.
Well done. Well done. Yes, yes, yes.
Well, great shots there of the players. They're clapping and enjoying the chance of their home sport. The sun burst through the clouds for the first time today in acknowledgement of the optimism that is now surely coursing through the veins of this Midlands University programme. This was the opening try, this set the tone. Elijah Hiscock-Smith converting Nottingham pressure. And from that point on, Nottingham rarely looks back. There was a penalty for Bernardo Nogueira shortly after that try, but Mortimer, the man of the match, responded in kind. And this was truly the sole high point of Swansea's afternoon, sadly for them. Try for Rory Case. And at that point, you just thought, is this Swansea's time to now go on the attack, having soaked up all the pressure? But it was emphatically halted, that momentum, through the brilliance of Max Brown and his boot, not to mention a show and go that he almost coughed up on the dive, but certainly worthy of another look. Just that feint of the shoulders. While he was stumbling, he found time for the big showcase dive. Clasping onto the ball just about. So that brought Nottingham into the sheds, leading at half-time. And Swansea would not score another point. Took a while, but finally Jamie Anand used his bulk and his brawn to bounce his way across the line, and from that point on, the men in gold could not just sniff the victory, they could sniff the bonus point one at that. Rob Carmichael, who was so prominent in the set piece, worked tirelessly in the unglamorous, the unsexy parts of the game, in the deep dark rucks and mauls. Secured that very bonus point before Gregor Watson rubbed salt into Swansea wounds to round off another famous day at Highfields. Full-time score, University of Nottingham 34, Swansea University 10.
It's more than just a game.
It's community.
It's support.
It's culture.
It's mental health.
It's friendship. It's for your mind.
My name is Brian Moore, an ex-Nottingham University rugby player. I gained 64 caps for England, and I'm back today going over old ground and some new. I tell you what's nice, being alongside people like Brabant and Yiping and Robert Clift and other great Olympians and so on. It's quite humbling in a way. It's very nice as well. Can I just say how jealous I am, actually, of you all. In my day, things weren't always better. We had one aircraft Hagger-style sports centre, about half the size of that, and one really poor AstroTurf pitch. And when you finish university and what have you, all you'll have, you'll remember. You'll remember these days for the rest of your life. But the thing is, your memories are made now. Even if you have another chance, you won't get that 80 minutes back, you won't get that exam back, whatever. And if you want your memories to be good, you better do it now. That is the back of my old hall of residence, Sherwood Hall. My room, when I was president, was that room there. As president, you had a double room, which was great. Well, coming back, there's so many memories. It's difficult to come, well, they just flood back. The friendships you create through sport are quite special. There's that shared experiences there. And sport is a big part of that. Because you're here in your formative years, and they are still being formative, even though you're notionally classed as an adult. They mean a lot more to you, and the memories are probably more acute. This is virtually the same.
Yeah.
The tables were this way.
Yes.
Every year, you know, there was a proper food fight.
Yes.
And the staff quite rightly refused to clear up. They said it's right. They were quite right. This year is a centenary of the University Rugby Club. So I would urge people to come, because it will not least because it'll be a brilliant night in itself. But I tell you what, it will give you all these memories. You'll feel like I do. You'll feel like a child again.
Well, here we are again, lads. This BUCS Super Rugby business is dead easy, isn't it?
No, not really, and you know it's not. Look, another big shift today. We wanted to build on our momentum from last week, build on the confidence and the energy that we played with last week, and I think we did that. Swansea seemed strangely subdued. I don't know why, but you know, we had a better start this week. The third quarter, Swansea controlled and dominated that, but I think then we got back in, and again we finished strongly. So testament to the players, Burnsy, testament to their fitness, and yeah, you know, play 2-1-2. It is easy, isn't it?
Well, we'll see as the months go on, because you've got a pretty tough run coming up for the next 4, which we'll go into later down the line. But let's talk about that start, because last week we did mention it in the build-up. You didn't turn up for the first 30 minutes, did you? But it was right from the get-go, and you didn't relinquish your grip on the game at all. You must be so pleased by that factor alone.
Really pleased, and you know, we knew we needed to be focused. We needed to be patient. You know, we backed ourselves and we played rugby even in the rain and the wet conditions, and I think you know, once we scored a couple of times, and that built our confidence. Obviously Swansea came back and had something to say about that, and they were strong at set piece. They put us under a lot of pressure, but I felt we were resilient, and we stuck together and we found a way. We didn't overplay in certain areas, and I think we made better decisions than we did last week in other areas. So great to finish strongly, great to get all 23 players on the park again, because it really is a squad effort, Burnsy, and obviously testament to this man, scrum half Henry Mortimer. You know, absolutely outstanding with the ball in hand when he's kicking or just leading the team.
Well, should we hand the mic over to our man of the match, Paul? And Henry, you are our man of the match. Congratulations, and deservedly so. Big penalty in the first half, which felt important at the time, and just generally driving the game. What was it like out there?
Yeah, it was great out there. Great to be with the boys in those wet conditions to start. Everyone getting around each other. Like you said, we just made sure those first 20 minutes we were actually going to come out the blocks. To actually make sure we're coming out the blocks properly, not giving them a head start, doing 30 minutes of the game without touching the ball, and then trying to come back from that. But yeah, Nottingham likes to play rugby whatever the conditions, so we did that when we could, and then played the areas when we needed to, and just looked to pin them back in the second half and back our defence, which has been so good so far. So hopefully we can keep it up.
Was it everything you expected out there from Swansea today? I think you just used the word subdued there, Paul. It seemed like Nottingham were on top from start to finish.
Yeah, I think we gained that momentum really well from the start of the game, and then we fought really hard to keep it and kept building on top of it. As Paul said, there was a little bit of a patch in the middle in that second half where they started to get back into it, but yeah, we built back into the game, and then shut them out completely really at the end.
So that completely did. However, it did take some time, and this is one thing that we were talking about a lot upstairs when we were commentating, that for all the territory and the possession dominance, points seemed hard to come by. I think it was nearly on the 70th minute that you eventually got your replacement, Anand, across the line. Was that itching in the back of your minds at all, that, you know, we've had the lion's share of the game, but we haven't got the points to show for it?
I think a little bit. I think we were still very confident, as we just needed to get that final clinical pass. We'd been down there so often and for such long periods of time that we knew sort of something had to give, as long as we kept fighting, didn't give up, and then we just stuck our final passes basically, kept hold of the ball for long enough.
Yeah. So last week's man of the match was Max Brown, number 10. Henry Mortimer this week, number 9. Let's talk about that relationship that you've got with Max. It seems to be flourishing rather nicely for Nottingham.
Yeah, me and Max have played together for the whole of last season as well, pretty much now. So we know each other well. We know how each other play. We know Max is a bit of a maverick, likes to do his little kicks in behind. So got a nice little relationship with him now, sort of can almost guess when he's going for those, and we can adapt better. And I think that's the same with the rest of the back line. We've been together for a long time now. We know how each other play and what each other like to do, so that helps us a lot, I think.
I know everything's looking rosy at the moment, 2 wins from 2, but give me your assessment of BUCS Super Rugby. How have you found it, and how's it compared from the league that you were playing in last year?
I think it's probably more of a shock to the forwards, I'd say. That's those scrums. We just got to keep working hard in the contact area. So scrums to the forwards, and then making sure we're securing our own ball as backs out wide, things like that. We're not giving easy turnover, easy penalties away to the opposition, because that can kill you. If they give a penalty away easy on the halfway, you're back in your 22, and then that's when you're under the pressure with driving balls of some of these teams. So yeah.
All right, I'm going to ask you one last question. With such a, how do I put this, a tumultuous stretch of games, you have Loughborough, you've got Durham, you have got Exeter, and you've got Cardiff Met.
Yep.
You've got Cardiff Met away in there, you've got Durham away, and then Exeter home, Loughborough away. I mean, runs don't get much tougher than that.
No.
Okay, how you feeling about it?
I think the boys are just going to enjoy the challenge. Like, we've got nothing to lose really. Go out, play the best rugby we can, and keep working really hard in these training weeks, making sure we're fit enough to go that full 80 when we have to, and hopefully we can kill teams off in that final 10 if we're still in the game.
Will that have any bearing on the celebration tonight?
I think the boys will just enjoy the win and then get back into recovery and training for the rest of the week.
All right, okay, look, Henry, I'm going to let you get off with the players. I'm going to ask you to give the mic back to your coach. Congratulations, fabulous game. Go and enjoy it. Right, Paul, final little word from you. I mean, come on, like, are we excited now? And, you know, are the ambitions changing, or are you staying level-headed?
Yeah, a mixture of excitement, Burnsy, a mixture of pride as well. That again, we turned in another good performance, but we're also, you know, we understand it's early days still. You know, these sides are quality sides. We're still the new kids on the block. You know, we still got 16 games to go. As you say, a tough run coming up now. You know, against Loughborough, who are one of the heavyweights of student rugby, let alone BUCS student rugby. And but we relish the challenges. I think what you're seeing today is we're committed to our style. We make mistakes. We don't always get things wrong, but actually when it comes off, it works. And you know, I think that attitude is going to get us a long way, I hope.
Perfect. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you on the journey.
Cheers, Burnsy. Look forward to it too.
Cheers, Paul. I look forward to it also. Well, there you go. I mean, what a fortnight. Once upon a time, Nottingham with the new kids on the block, but now they're the team with the target on their back. 2 wins from 2, maximum points, try bonus points to boot, and sitting top of the table. Who would have thunk it? Well, maybe only me, because I've been around here long enough to know that you cannot predict anything in BUCS Super Rugby. It is the best league in the land. It is the most unpredictable, and the only way to find out how the saga unfolds is by tuning into the stream every week with either myself, Dave, or Claire. And of course, by mention of that, we're going to be bringing you the Women's National League as well down the stream. It's the first day of the season today, and I believe our first fixture will be Exeter, and we're going to be at Sandy Park for a juicy double header. So tune in then, have Wednesday circled, have Wednesday with an alarm in your phone from here on in, because BUCS Super Rugby's back, Women's National League is back, and I tell you what, Nottingham University are here. So till then, we'll see you.